welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Aries. This is going to be for February 16th to the 23rd. And let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, Aries, this is a general weekly outlook where we pull out your romance angel, well, not romance, excuse me, your love oracle cards. I'm still so used to using romance angel cards. The Island Time Wellness Deck Love Oracle cards. We pull out your animal spirits and your tarot cards. Now, for those of you who want to get, who want to have a bit more interaction with my channel, show your support for my channel, you can go ahead and check out the memberships section that I've just set up. I was just eligible for. And in that section, I have a 2-tier membership, and you can check out if you want to go ahead and partake in that. Part of the second tier membership, a cup member, is that you also get access to your weekly love outlook for each sign. And those weekly readings are up now, so you can check that out if you're interested. And otherwise, let's go ahead and get right into your general outlook. Aries, we have the mask for you. We have I like you. And we have kisses. All right, let's move this up just a little bit. So it's pretty straightforward. Of course, the mask is talking about playing a role, hiding your true feelings. All right. And of course, I like you. It's just simply that feeling of somebody having a crush, liking you, being interested. And of course, kisses is all about affection. Right? A week of affection, physicality, right? Giving and receiving, you know, love, right? All right, guys, let's get into your animal spirits. Now, if for the love outlooks, the weekly love outlooks that I do provide to my members, I continue to use the Romance Angel deck for that, and the Animal Spirit and the Cosmic Tarot deck. So we pull 3 sets of cards for you. So let's just see what the animal spirits have for your general week. All right, guys. All right, Aries straight out. We have the octopus, water energy. We have the cobra. Wow. Very rare animal spirit for my readings, fire energy. And the hummingbird. Beautiful. Air energy. I love the hummingbird. Comes up a lot from my readings. Talking about being spiritually resourceful. All right, let's get right into your animal spirits. The octopus is a water elemental animal spirit, and the spirit of the octopus is all about lacking boundaries. There are no boundaries for the octopus, right? His tentacles get all sort of, you know, entwined with everyone else's business. Right? The octopus is sort of the king of too much information. This is the person who just tells you everything about themselves, and they also just suck your energy. They always want to know more. They ask questions. They overstep their bounds, and oftentimes the octopus gets caught up in very, very messy, complicated relationships, right? And so if you're dealing with this sort of animal spirit, or if you're dealing with someone who's resonating with the spirit of the octopus, oftentimes what can happen is that if you're talking to someone, you ever have that experience, you're talking to someone and then they walk away, you feel absolutely drained of your energy. That means the spirit of the octopus has been at play. And the best way to deal with this energy is to absolutely put up boundaries. You know, just put up boundaries and let people know, you know, I'm not willing to discuss this with you. Right? I'm not, or I don't have the time for you. Or if they ask you questions, or, you know, just begin to try to suck your energy, just cut it off, you know. No one can take your energy unless you allow them, and it's that simple. Now, the cobra is fire energy. The cobra is a very, very interesting animal spirit. The cobra talks about the student within us, right? Ever watchful. The cobra is the spirit of always watching, waiting to show up, right? Waiting to show up for those of us who are ready to learn. right? So it's interesting. It's this kind of, the spirit of the cobra is there when we finally get to a point in our lives that we say to ourselves, you know what, I need to learn something. I'm ready to learn something. Whatever that is, whether it's something about dealing with your emotions or dealing with people or dealing with business or whatever the lesson is, it's that openness that we have when we really, truly, fully admit that we are lacking in that area and we want to know more. It's a desire for wanting to know more. And then what happens with the spirit of the cobra is that it's always watching, because as soon as someone actually does sort of display that or throw that intention out into the universe, you know, seriously, then the cobra brings in the teacher. So the teacher never really arrives until you're ready to learn the lesson. You know, the one thing that, the way, I mean, everyone has their own philosophy, right? But the way, for the most part, in my experience, the way the universal energies work is that they don't just simply come in because you want them to, right? The universe doesn't just bring you a soulmate because you ask for it or you want it, right? It brings you what you need. And it brings you what you truly are working towards. You know, our lives require our input. You know, and this idea that you can just sit and sort of pray for it, or sit and just ask for it and it'll come. You know, it just doesn't work that way. You know, it's the intent that we put into it, and that's what's up with the spirit of the cobra. It's that intent of saying, listen, I am ready to learn. I know I need to learn something. And then all of a sudden, of course, life brings the exact right teacher for you. Now, this teacher may not come in the form of a traditional teacher, right? They may not have the intention of teaching you anything, but life will bring you someone to teach you this particular lesson. Or this, whatever it is that you're trying to grasp, right? And life will bring it in for you if you are watchful. Hummingbird energy, air energy, and the hummingbird is all about being spiritually resourceful. What do hummingbirds do in the wild? They go out every day and they know exactly where to get the best nectar. You know, the nectar being symbolic of food for the soul, right? Food for our soul, our hearts. And so the hummingbird, spirit of the hummingbird is really beautiful. It's generally an energy that someone will resonate with, whereas, for instance, the spirit of the cobra is more situational. The spirit of the hummingbird is definitely a spirit that someone resonates with, and it's someone who works very, very hard. They are very, very supportive, and they are the type of person that you can go to when you need spiritual attention. They can, you know, or they are certainly the type of friend that will notice when you are needing spiritual attention or emotional attention or even mental attention. It's an air element, so we're talking about an animal spirit that deals with the mind and communication. And so in the way that the hummingbird communicates, it is this sort of real rock in a way that you can depend on to really help you find the solace sometimes that you need. Everyone or anyone who has a friend in their life who resonates with the spirit of the hummingbird is extremely lucky to have a friend like that in their lives. All right, so let's get right into your forecast for the week, Aries. We're going to pull out several forecasts, 3 forecasts to be exact. I used to pull out more, but the videos were getting too long. So we're going to do 3 forecasts for you. Now, these forecasts are intended to be separate outlooks. So you may only resonate with one of them or part of them, and that's fine. Remember, this is just one video of many, many, many videos that are out there from many, many other readers, etc., etc. And of course, if you don't resonate with this reading, that's fine. It's just not for you. All right? So let's get right into Aries for the week of the 15th to the 23rd. Here we go. 4 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, and we have the 9 of Pentacles. All right, just wanted to adjust that. Four of Pentacles. So, some of you are coming into the week with a Four of Pentacles energy. Four of Pentacles is all about a fear of your finances destabilizing. Four is the number for stability, right, and groundedness. And so, Four of Pentacles oftentimes is the card that's associated with miserliness or greediness. But miserliness and greediness are all forms of fear, right? They're just fear of losing what we have, right? Or fear of losing something that we've already achieved or worked for, right? And so, Four of Pentacles, Aries, some of you are certainly coming into the week worrying about your finances, maybe your career or your business. You may be worried that there is a threat to them or that something is coming down the line or down the pike that is going to sort of affect them in some kind of way. Coming into the week, you meet a Seven of Swords energy. It's quite interesting because Seven of Swords is the card for futility and also treachery. And oftentimes, the Seven of Swords can indeed be someone who you know very well. When we talk about treachery, this is oftentimes, I call this my dream thief card. This is somebody who oftentimes wants to covet what you have. They don't necessarily feel badly about you or have any animosity towards you. And in fact, a lot of times, they are actually very fond of you. They may even love you. But it's a weird kind of sycophantish energy with Seven of Swords, in a sense that this person wants to somehow covet you or covet who you are or what you have, right? In an attempt for them to sort of fill up their own insecurities, their own lack of self-esteem and self-confidence. This type of person believes that if they just take what you have or have a piece of what you have, they can be whole again. This is then where we lead into the idea of futility, because of course that is a futile attempt, right? And anything sort of working towards that objective will be futile. So what I'm saying to you is that some of you, Aries, may indeed realize this week who this person is, right? Because oftentimes Seven of Swords is indeed somebody who's working behind the scenes to either derail you, to take what you have, or to fuck up your stuff, right? Mess up your winning streak or what have you, take the wind out of your sails, whatever the case may be. But oftentimes they are in the shadows. And like I said, on the surface, they could be a very good friend. I think for some of you, and this is where we get into the mask, for some of you, you will be uncovering the mask this week of someone who is perhaps close to you or not. I would imagine they are quite close to you, who has really been sabotaging you. By the time you round out your week, though, you round out with a Nine of Pentacles, which means you are right back to feeling comfortable about your finances, feeling, because this threat that you had here, I feel like this was like things were going on, and you weren't really realizing where the threat was coming from. And so this week, when you uncover or you unmask the person or the energy that has been, that you've already been seeing has been trying to destabilize you, of course, you come right back out on top with that Nine of Pentacles. And remember also, the Nine of Pentacles is interesting because this is a card where people are oftentimes a little bit alienated by others or from others by virtue of their success or their level of financial stability or gain or abundance. And it almost makes me feel like this is the position you were always in, Aries. And it's one of the reasons why this person sort of came in to take what you have, because of course you were already quite successful. And it's interesting also that by the end of the week, you kind of, exercise this energy out of your life. You kind of root out this person, and yet you are right back to a place where you are still continue to be somewhat alienated by your level of success. It could very well be that this is just a problem that happens, not with everyone in your life, but certainly with some people in your life. You just can't allow them in because they only come in to sort of take advantage of you, right? Or to exploit you in some way, or to exploit your financial security in some way. But nevertheless, you round your week off quite happy and quite confident again and stable again, knowing that everything will be fine now that you've gotten rid of this negative energy. Justice is balance, bringing in Knight of Swords, Two of Wands. Some of you are coming in this week with Justice energy. It's energy of rebalancing a situation that is out of balance. Some of you may indeed be waiting for a court decision. Of course, this is the card for Libra, but it's neither here nor there. It has nothing to do with whether or not you're dealing with a Libra. Justice is all about an action, an event, or an occurrence that comes into your life and that serves the purpose of rebalancing something in your life. And oftentimes it can be like an actual business decision or an official rendering, a judgment, a mediation process, some kind of official event or document or meeting, etc., that works towards this rebalancing. So some of you may indeed be waiting for that. You have a Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is like absolutely a commitment in a way to following your ideas and your objective, right? But the one thing the Knight of Swords is able to do is that with that sword, swords being the suit of communication, right? And the mind. With that sword, the Knight of Swords is able to come up with some very clever solutions, right? And some very sort of, I want to say workable communication, right? To get rid of any real obstacles in its way. Just as the Page gets rid of sort of those mental obstacles that are in the way, like self-doubt and low self-esteem, negative self-image, the Knight of Swords just bumps it up a notch and really works to get rid of those real obstacles, those tangible obstacles, right? And you round out your week. It's interesting because this Knight of Swords energy is coming on the heels of justice. And I think for some of you, Aries, you are waiting for a judgment to come through, maybe a lawsuit or something like that. And once this document or this event comes through for you, it's like armed with this, you're able to now get rid of very real obstacles in your way, whether they be people or ties that you have or whatever the case may be. It's like this action coming from justice is really giving you what you need to finally really push through whatever's been standing in your way. You round off your week with a Two of Wands, which is Mars and Aries energy, which is definitely a I want to say a doubling down on your enthusiasm to move forward, your vision. You can see he has the world in his hands there. We're talking about Mars and Aries energy, so it's very sort of forward moving, almost warlike. You're ready to go to war now. You're ready to sort of, meet any problems that life throws you head on now that the way has been made clear, and certainly with this judgment that has come in to really rebalance and to bring justice. That's what it's called, justice. Justice is an action that happens to rebalance something, right? When something has been out of balance, it's called an injustice. It's not just, it's not even, it's not fair. So justice, of course, rebalances that. Very, very nice for some of you, I'm going to say. Aries, in terms of, definitely if you've been waiting for a while, or you've been holding on for a while, until this event comes in this coming week, it's going to be almost explosive with this Knight of Swords energy. Last spread, the World, Six of Swords, and Five of Cups. So some of you are coming into this week with the World energy. Now, the World talks all about being really, really satisfied and happy with where you are in life right now. When we find ourselves at a particular place in life, right now, in this moment, you say, you know what, this is exactly where I want to be. Right? This is always where I've wanted to be, or this is exactly where I feel I should be. Everything feels right. I'm so happy. What happens is that not only do we sort of begin to accept everything that's happened up until that point, it's only in those moments that we have real appreciation for all of the bad things and the good things that have happened in our lives, because we realize that all of that stacks up and leads up to this point right now. And so if you're really truly happy and contented and satisfied with where you're at right now, then you of course have to a certain degree, have acceptance for everything that you've been through that's gotten you to this point. The World card also talks about a feeling of fate having its eyes on you. Everything seems to be opening up for you. Everything seems to be working out for you. And you feel like that, and this is giving you a real enthusiasm for you to move forward. You come into this week, you have a Six of Swords energy. And I'm going to say it's quite interesting because the Six of Swords really gives me this feeling. Something happens this week that makes you, kind of gets you to decide to move on, right? You already have this feeling of being quite contented with where you're at, and it's an increased feeling of self-confidence and self-esteem that you are on the right path. it only increases your desire to carry on and to really move forward with your ideas, right? Six of Swords is all about wanting to move towards an environment or a group of people or what have you, a life basically surrounded by energy that is the same as yours, the same type of mentality people. It's like if you're raised your whole life, say you were raised your whole life in a very affluent society, you have all the money in the world, but the mentality of the people around you don't fit with you. You don't feel like you belong. You don't have the same morals or the same ideas about life. That's a huge difference in mentality. And it's very difficult to live around people or an environment where the mentality is so different from yours, Aries. And so you finally make this decision on the heels of this self-confidence to kind of really move on. I'm going to say for some of you, might actually physically be moving. You may be moving house or moving jobs or moving cities, right? And it's all in this effort to sort of go on with this feeling now that you are following your path. And it's almost like, okay, well, I'm right at where I should be. Finally, I feel happy where I'm at. Let me just put even more energy. Let me push further. Let me go further. There's more I can do. And I think part of that is sort of seeking out harmony in your life and seeking out the type of people or environment that's conducive to your growth. But you round off the week, though, with a 5 of Cups. And I feel like this leaving is causing you some heartache. It's like you by the end of the week, you do mourn a little bit. I want to say maybe even a lot. The breakdown of certain relationships, or the fact that you had to come to that decision to leave. Although you're happy with it and you feel like it's right, that doesn't change the fact that there is still some pain associated with those that you're leaving behind. Some of you will be leaving some people behind or a person behind because this forward progression is more important to you. It's necessary. But yes, of course, whoever it is, or and it does feel like a person or a group of people that you're leaving behind, it will cause you some heartache and some sadness that ultimately your life is leading you somewhere that's away from them, even though it's the right decision. All right, Aries, this is your reading. February 5th to the 21st? February 5th, sorry, 15th to the 21st. My bad. And this is your general weekly outlook. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share. If you want to get more access to my content, early access, if you want to get a shout out on my videos for your sun sign, like if you're a Leo, you want to get a shout out on my Leo videos. If you want to have access to your weekly love outlook, all of that is in the membership section, and I encourage you to go over there and just check it out. And if you decide, then that is a good way for you to support my channel and to allow me to give you even more content and more perks. So for that, I'm just going to say, enjoy your week, Aries. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you next week for your general weekly outlook. Bye-bye now.